what the foods do, what they prevent, what they aid in, healing, parasite control, all that. I don't know how many of us did a lot of research on this to get, to where we're at for feeding our fish, but you know how I feel about it. I think it's one of the most important things is feeding your fish, because you know what happens if you don't feed them. First off, freshwater fish absorb through the skin and through the scales. Saltwater fish don't. They drink. So they drink the water that they're in. They process out the salt. They absorb the oxygen through their gills, so forth and so on. So in that, things we put in the water, they're consuming it. So we're going to touch on water chemistry a little bit, not a whole lot. We are going to touch on some water chemistry. The oxygen in the water is actually a gas. It's an oxygen gas. It's dissolved in the water. The fish, breathe in the water. They have layers in their gills, filter out the oxygen, and then they return the CO2 back into the water, just like we do with our, we breathe in and out. So foods are going to be your major source, because these don't have what the fish really need in them. Well, mine does, but the rest of them don't. You want to be in charge of the phone, Tyler? This house is... Alright, obviously there's more air content, or more oxygen content in air than in water. Same thing though, in and out, just like the fish, so the chemistry of the water is very important. We're going to start with, let's start with Zocon. That seems to be one of the main ones. I'm sure you've all seen it. Lipids. That's the main thing in here is lipids. Lipids are fatty acids, mainly found in cold water fish and algae. You can get them from, it does come from algae, like phytoplankton. So you're going to find lipids are actually the fatty acids, omega-3s, that are a huge source for these fish. And all the food processes, none of the dry foods, the flake foods, the pellets, none of that have the fatty acids in it. So we have to give it to them. The only ones that really have it are planktons and mysis. The brine, are pretty much frozen brine, is 80% water. There's not much protein left in it once it's processed and frozen. They pack it in water, so there's just not much left in it. That's really not even a good staple food. It's just it's a good way to get them to start to eat. So what we want to do, we want to soak our foods, even if they've already got the fatty acids in them, we want to soak them with these omega-3s. So that we're giving them these fatty acids, the omega-3, which aids in stimulates growth, repairs fin damage, and gets them bulked up so they can fight off any of these parasites and so forth that come in with our shipping. The omega-3s also help with the function of the heart, the cardiovascular, brain activity. They help with the nervous system, and they also help with the covering over the eyes. So these acids are like, it's a full rounded, this is one of the main ones. It's going to be this. So we want to do our food soak with Zocon. You can do it a couple of different ways. Hey guys. Everybody uses mysis. So I use mysis for a beginning. Everyone uses it. Well, most people. When we take our mysis around here, we do a lot. We got a lot of fish. Since this is not pre-strained, and Vicari is the cleanest one on the market, it's the cleanest form. I know a lot of you use the Piscine. I don't sell the Piscine because it's just so soaked with byproducts, and when they process it, it's just saturated with byproducts. They claim to have the highest protein content, but that protein is not in the food. It's in the byproducts that they're packed in. So really, it's a false sense of you feeding your fish the highest protein available food on the market. It's not true. Vicari has a lower protein content, but it's an accurate protein content. It's actually the protein that's in the mysis that they're being fed. What we do, we just take, you guys know how this works, we thaw it out, give that a minute to thaw. While we're doing that, I'll start on the nori. Can I get those black scissors?
Right there. Jeff.
Oh, right on. Cool. Thanks, bro. Alright, another one. Everybody uses this, hopefully, especially if you have algae grazers, tangs, blennies, angels, any kind of centropyge loves this. Any tank, wrasses. I've even got triggers. I got triggers eating it. The flounder eats it. The puffer eats it. They all eat it. If you get them accustomed to it, they're going to eat it. And this is an excellent soap because it just absorbs it right in. So what you want to do, we'll usually do the nori a little different. Obviously it doesn't need to be rinsed. I like to rinse the mycelium, but we don't rinse the nori. So we'll take, again, get your Tupperware, deionized water, distilled water, RO, whatever. Do a little bit of that. I know a lot of us use the food clips, but in the wild, the stuff's not dry. You can't just stick it in there dry. They rip it, it goes into the overflow because it comes out of the clip. Clips are good, but if you're going to use them, use the ones with the mesh. You got the little mesh band, use those. Those are real good. We'll take the dough, a little shake. Now I recommend